Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. Nice try, Joe, but nah, you didn't pass the baton to nobody and you had nothing to do with the demise of Drake because there is no demise of Drake. You know what I'm saying? Go Canada. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Tuesday morning. I'm feeling great. Why? Because we had a day off yesterday. For those of you who are not in the Montreal area or Quebec area, I should say, you did not have a day off. Yesterday was Saint Jean Baptiste for those in Quebec. And now next Monday is going to be Canada Day. So we get here in Quebec, we get 2 long weekends back to back. It's my favorite time in the summer, like Grand Prix weekend and then Saint Jean Baptiste and Canada Day. So I had a great weekend, an extra day to party and have fun. A little groggy, you know, but I will get through the show and get my butt home to sleep. All right. Let me get on with the show. I got 3 lead stories for you. We're going to talk about Pop Smoke's killer being back outside. Then in our second lead story, we're going to talk about Charlamagne clearing up the air with his Tyla interview. And then we're going to close out lead news with Joe Budden saying that he helped to ruin Drake. Then we are going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Jermaine Dupri, Rubi Rose, and stars out in Paris Fashion Week. Then we're going to jump into speed news. We're going to talk about Angel Reese being out with G Herbo and also her and Chicago beating Indiana Fever. Then we're going to close speed news with an OnlyFans model exposing an NFL player for not paying her for her services. Trust me, stay tuned for that. Then we got question of the day. And then, of course, we got to talk about Game 7 Stanley Cup. Great game. Anyways, I'll just leave it to sports news. But to me, this is what sports finals should be like. Game 7, down to the wire. I'll talk about it more in sports news, all right? Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Pop Smoke's killer seen outside a No Jumper store demanding money from them. All right, so before we get into that headline, let me backtrack a little. So I think it was on Friday or Saturday, one of Pop Smoke's killer was released, and now he's online threatening people for money outside of people's stores. But let me give you some more context. So according to numerous online reports and social media activity, authorities reportedly released one of Pop Smoke's alleged killer from jail, specifically juvie, from what seems like his 21st birthday. Moreover, there isn't a lot of concrete information available about the supposed release at press time, other than this being the completion of the alleged killer's 4-year sentence for pleading guilty to murder. This follows other developments in the murder case with Pot Smoke, etc., and they go on to talk about other things. So there were, I think it was 4 people, 3 of them juvenile and 1 of them being an adult in Pop Smoke's case. They said also in the article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's very long, but they also said in the article that they are working to try to get a plea deal with the only adult that is left in the case. And they said this: negotiations fell through, but there's still a possibility we'll come to an agreement, the defense attorney said. A few things need to be ironed out. If they don't get it resolved, we're going to trial. And jury selection will start August the 6th. So that is for the 1 adult. So the juvenile, I'm not sure what happened to the other 2 juvies, but the one now that has been let out. Okay, so what I find crazy about this kid that's got let out, if I was a juvenile that I pled guilty for murdering one of hip hop's like biggest up and coming stars, I would be like in an apartment building hidden out somewhere. Please don't ever say my name. Like, I hope nobody ever finds out in this world who I am. Nah, what did this kid do? This guy jumped on social media, was talking a bunch of ish online, and had a bottle of tequila, like, yo, come party with me. And this guy just got out of juvie for murdering Pop Smoke. It's actually crazy. Then when the blog started posting about him, he is threatening a blog post, No Jumper, for posting him online. And he was like, yo, if you keep posting me, I'm going to come see you and it's going to be on site. If you want to keep posting my face, you need to pay me money. I hope he doesn't come see me for talking about him on my podcast. But I have a little clip. Listen to what this guy has to say to the people at No Jumper. Take a listen.
Dead homie, stop posting me and not giving me no money on AC. You post me again and I don't get no money. That's on my mama. I'm going to take everything you owe the dead homies.
So for those of you who can't see the video or couldn't have seen the video of that, they actually put like an emoji to cover his face. I guess they don't want any more problems with him, but this kid is brave to another level. And also, if you ask me, disrespectful to another level. But I actually posted this on the weekend on one of my my social media accounts, Extra City Media. And by the way, follow me on Extra City Media also too, as well as Trent Out Loud. I'm going to be posting a lot more media and a lot more videos and posts over there too. So follow me at both accounts. But yeah, and then so somebody made a joke like, hey, let's start a parlay and be like, yo, when will this guy be dead? Will he make it till he's 25 years old, over and under? Is he going to get a headshot or a body shot? Et cetera, et cetera. And now, while I don't want to make jokes about another human being dying, this guy literally is digging his own grave, putting his face all over social media, being blatant about it, like he doesn't care, So anyways, comment sections are going crazy. People are already looking for this guy. They know what he looks like. It's just a matter of time before he posts his location and somebody runs up on him. These kids today are crazy. This guy learned nothing in jail. Jail is supposed to be a rehabilitation, and that's why you get let out when you're rehabilitated, whatever. This kid has learned nothing. He pled guilty to murdering somebody, so it's not like, oh, I was innocent this whole time. No, he pled guilty. He said he did it, and he comes out now, and he really does not care. That's just, the disrespect is mind-blowing to me, but let's see what happens to him. Like I said, I don't wish death on nobody. I hope nothing happens to him, etc., but we shall see, because a lot of people love Pop Smoke out here. So let's see what happens to this young man. All right, this brings us to our second lead story. Charlamagne the God clears the air about his interview with Tyla after she declined to answer his question about his colored comments. Charlamagne the God speaks out after parts of his interview with Tyla went viral. During the interview, he asked her about referring to herself as colored, and Tyla's team to refuse to answer the question. He said prior to the interview, her team asked him not to address various viral topics concerning her and her career, which he said he did not want to oblige to. He said that he feels obligated to the public to ask questions that they want to know. So I talked about this, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago now, where Tyla was on The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne asked her about her comments about being colored. She just turned to her publicist and was like, oh my gosh, like, why is he asking me this? And the publicist was like, oh, can you please not ask her this? Can you please move on? So I love that Charlamagne is giving context to this. I have a little clip. As you guys know, for copyright issues, I cannot play all of it. I'm going to play a little clip and then I'll explain to you what he said after, right? Take a listen.
Labels always will come and say, can you not ask this? Can you not ask that? Like if it's something like really personal, I'll be like, sure, I'll oblige. For this one, I said no.
So basically what he's saying in a nutshell is, listen, you want to come to the Breakfast Club? We have, we are the biggest urban radio in the United States. We're one of the biggest podcasts in the world. I think they're like top 20 in the world, like 10 million downloads a month, I think, or whatever. You want to come to our audience. We hold the right to decide that we want to ask you guys certain questions. Now, the label side is like, okay, well, we have a right to protect our artists, and we want to say there's certain things that we don't want you to ask. So these things happen before the interview happens. And Charlamagne said they tried to say, please don't say anything about her being colored or her calling herself colored. There's a couple other things too, like don't ask about why she's not on tour with Chris Brown. Don't ask about her and Kai Sinai. Don't ask her about a couple other things. And Charlamagne was like, look, there's certain things that I'm cool with, but I want to ask her about this colored comment, okay? So for those who don't remember, I'll give you more context. she said that she's colored because that's how they describe mixed people in South Africa. We're here, we'll say mixed or we'll say mulatto. I think actually mulatto is kind of even frowned upon now or whatever. Anyway, so she got a little bit of a backlash for saying colored, but her explanation was, yo, that's the word we use in South Africa and it's not the word that you guys used here, so don't get mad at me for it. Anyway, Charlamagne was like, hey, it's my duty to the people to ask these questions. Now, before the interview, Charlamagne said, I'm going to ask this question. The label and Tyla should have looked and said, okay, well, I'm going to pull the interview. We're not going to sit down with you. No, the publicist, the record label took the interview because they want the audience and didn't prepare Tyla for the question. So I don't feel like Charlamagne is to blame here at all. Last week when I spoke about it, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of The Breakfast Club. I always joke and say I'm an honorable member. I watch The Breakfast Club every day. But I still kind of question him. Like, I'm wondering, like, why that was such like an uncomfortable interview, you know? So, but I love that Charlamagne put this out and he put his foot down and he was like, yo, just want to be transparent with you guys. I told them that I was going to ask this question. As a journalist, I have that right. That's how the industry goes when you're sitting down for an interview, and she should have been prepared. So I think this will put this to rest and we could stop dragging Charlamagne for asking her that question. I agree with him. He's a journalist. He has a right to ask whatever questions he wants, especially if he says to them in the beginning, I am going to ask this question. If you don't want to answer this question, that's up to you. Just don't do the interview. So you guys let me know what you think of the opinion. I actually really don't blame Tyla. She's 24. She's a young artist. You know, she has some traction. She's trying to get out here. If I look for somebody to blame, it would be the record label. You got the record label. Her publicist has got to say, listen, look, there's certain things about this industry that are uncomfortable. There's certain questions that are uncomfortable, and this is how you answer it. That's why they go through media training. So if you ask me, I blame the publicist and the record label. I really blame her management team, not Tyla and not Charlamagne. So you guys let me know what you think. Send me an email, CFQR600. Sorry, Trent Out Loud at CFC. Off of vacation, man. Trent Out Loud at CFQR600.com. Or comment below this YouTube video, or send me a DM at any of my social handles, Exclusivity Media or Trent Out Loud. All right, this brings us to our third lead story. Joe Budden thinks that he had a role to play in the demise of Drake. All right, this is actually going to be quick here, but I have a little clip of Joe. I don't know what this is on Clubhouse or something. I don't know where he said this, but I'll play a little clip and then I'll give you my comments after. Take a listen.
I don't think any one man takes down Drake. I passed the baton to Push. I think Push passed the baton to Kendrick, and the job is done now.
One man can't take down Drake. That was the one good thing that he said. I like that he knows that, but it's still like I don't even think he meant it as a backhand compliment. I don't think he even realized what he was saying. But more importantly, I'll give Joe 100% props on his podcast and him bringing attention to the beef, but him saying he took the baton and passed it to Push and then Push passed it to Kendrick, bro, stop it. A lot of people don't even know that you and Drake had a beef, quote unquote, and you had, if I remember, you had like 6 or 7 like diss tracks to Drake. Drake, I don't even think came back with a full diss track. I think he probably like mentioned him in a couple of bars. So I just don't like that Joe's trying to like insert himself and be like, yo, I had a part to play in his demise. The small part that he did play is his commentary through the beef. It was still ran really through Academics and Academics' live. But of course, after Academics, a lot of people tune in to Joe Budden's podcast. And so I know I know Joe is an OG Drake hater, and he wants to try to come and, edge his name in history in this. But bro, there's been a lot of people that have beef with Drake. There's been a lot of people that have, diss tracks, but 3 are going to go down, and not even really 3. Meek Mills doesn't even really count because nobody remembers his diss tracks, but it's Meek, then Pusha, then Kendrick. It was 3 guys, and we know Meek had nothing to do with it. I would say Push had a little, he cracked the ceiling, and then Kendrick, broke the ceiling, right? So we're not going to get into that beef, but yeah. Nice try, Joe. but nah, you didn't pass the baton to nobody, and you had nothing to do with the demise of Drake. Also, too, because there is no demise of Drake. You know what I'm saying? Go Canada. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, Jermaine Dupri has a question for the 16 to 30-year-olds. He said, so I got a question. If kids from 16 to 30-year-old are not listening to the radio, how does Hot 1079 Atlanta birthday bash get sold out? And please don't say social media. Sidebar to this question, somebody underneath this tweet wrote, Jermaine, we're not answering questions from anybody that fumbled Janet Jackson. For those of you who don't remember or don't know, Jermaine Dupri dated Janet Jackson for a small period of time, maybe like 6 months, a year, and they broke up. And everybody will forever drag him for losing Janet Jackson. Like, how do you lose Janet Jackson, really? This guy didn't even get married to her. You didn't have kids with her. Like, that's American music royalty. Like, it's crazy. He actually acknowledged it, and he said, woof, you just said something. I don't know what he really means by that, but anyways, whatever. That's not the point. Anyways, let me answer Jermaine's question about how a birthday bash got sold out without listening to the radio. I just said earlier how much I watched The Breakfast Club. I've never listened to The Breakfast Club on the radio. I don't live in New York. I don't live in the States. I don't live in the 100 markets that they get played in, but I watch them on YouTube, bro. And I follow all of them on social media, and I follow their Instagram on social media. So the fact that he said, like, don't say social media, he already put the answer in the question, and he knows it's social media. Social media, YouTube. Nobody listens to the radio, man. I even have a radio show, and I know most of my listeners are on CFQR600.com and listening worldwide, or on even on the TuneIn app. I know there is still some people on 600 AM that listen in their car, but that's where radio is going. So that's my answer to Jermaine Dupri. And I will just reiterate what that guy said, man. We're not listening to anybody that fumbled Janet Jackson. All right, this brings us to our second quick story. Rubi Rose announces she is a single woman after a recent relationship with comedian Durski. Looks like Rubi Rose is back on the market and no longer with Durski. In a quick interview, she announced she is single. Durski and Rubi got together in April of this year and were all over the gram. Take a listen to Rubi's quick comment that she said to like a YouTuber on the street. Take a listen.
Favorite love song?
Okay, I'm single, guys.
I told you guys literally 4 or 5 times that this was a skit. We all know Durski. And I guess now, like, they're pretty much tired with the skit. They're not getting the views, so they're like, all right, okay, we broke up. I will admit that one video they put out where they were kissing on the boat, it did get me thinking that maybe it might be real, but it's like I said, I'm like, yo, they just thought that nobody was believing them, and she kissed him that one time just for the skit. I mean, he probably even like paid her, or they're probably getting like advertising dollars, so she's like, whatever, who cares if I kiss him? But anyways, at least he got to kiss Rubi Rose, got to hang out with her, so he's still winning, and I got mad views and mad attention for it, but I just knew from the jump that was not a real thing. But for those of you who did, Rubi Rose is back on the market, and y'all still don't stand a chance, but just let you know she's back on the market. All right, this brings us to our third and final quick story. Celebs across the pond slay Paris Fashion Week. All right, this has been all over everywhere, so I just wanted to highlight it quickly. Serena Williams walked for Off-White. We also got Pharrell for Louis Vuitton, as we know. Anna Wintour is out there. Katy Perry is out there. Who else? Kylie Jenner is out there. I saw Kim Kardashian obviously is out there. Woo! Yo, Sierra looked amazing. She walked for Vogue Fashion. I'm not going to put the videos, but I'm sure y'all already seen it. Like I said, just giving a highlight. Shout out to Sierra. And the last one who I really want to shout out is my girl, Tiana Taylor, who you guys know I love. She killed it. She walked for Vogue as well, too, in this kind of like sparkly, like shiny dress. Like, she looked really good, and this blonde hair. You know, she's going through the divorce with her and Amon Shumpri. So just want to shout her out. She looks really good. Vogue looks like they're killing it out there. Of course, Serena looked really good. She's always supporting Off-White, even though Virgil is not with us. R.I.P. to Virgil. But no, Paris Fashion Week looks really dope. I kind of miss being out in Fashion Week. I used to go for the stores. But I'm not that huge of a Paris fan. All the buildings are like 3 feet tall, and they have black fences in their window. Like, everything looks the same everywhere you go in Paris. But I like the partying in Paris. I don't necessarily just like Paris itself. But anyways, shout out to Paris. Shout out to the celebs. Shout out to Fashion Week. Y'all are killing it. It looks great. Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. All right, this brings us to speed news. Ring my bell. Angel Reese leads comeback to give the Chicago Sky the win over the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese helped her team make a 15-point comeback that ultimately led to the team winning the game against the Indiana Fever. The game was highly anticipated as it was another Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese face-off. After the game, Angel Reese said, "I'm a dog. You cannot teach that," and that she is always willing to do whatever it takes to win. Y'all know I always cover the WNBA. Well, not always cover the WNBA, but I always cover what's going on with Caitlin and Angel Reese. I love both of them. Obviously, my favorite is Angel Reese. But I actually watched this game. I think it was Saturday it was on. Anyways, watch this game. Maybe it was Sunday. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. Anyways, watch this game Sunday. Such a good game. Came down to the wire. Angel Reese did her thing. I think she's leading rookies this year in the stat. It's her 8th double-double. Anyway, she's totally killing it. Here's a little clip from Angel Reese after the game.
How do you find this in you each and every time to be such a winner?
I'm a dog. You can't teach that. My teammates rely on my energy.
All right, so not only to add to that win, shout out again, once again, to Chicago Sky and Angel Reese for winning, but also social media reacts after it's assumed Angel Reese was spotted riding in the passenger seat next to G Herbo. Now, G Herbo is a Chicago native, so is this dating rumors? Are they together? Who knows? It could just be him, taking her out. But, I mean, he is shooting his shot. He is trying to, we all know what's going on here. But we don't know for sure. They haven't made any official announcements. It could just be that he is, just trying to be friendly and take her out. So we'll see what happens. I hope Angel Reese just keeps her head on straight. I know she's always doing her fashion thing, and she was at the Met Gala and all that stuff. Like, I don't want her to get too caught up with G Herbo. But yeah, shout out to Angel Reese, and I like that she's out here doing her thing outside of basketball, because that's when you get like the endorsement deals, and that's when you start becoming bigger than the sport. Caitlin Clark, yes, has her Nike deal and all that stuff, but I haven't seen her kind of like be outside. How like Serena Williams is, or even like who else? I mean, Jordan did that really well too. Shaquille O'Neal did that well. Kobe, like mixing in with music and hip hop and just getting into the culture. So I'm really happy to see her do that, but I really want her to concentrate on basketball first. So anyways, shout out to Angel Reese. I love you. All right, in our second and final speed story, OnlyFans model Mia Mercer puts NFL player Terrell Lewis on blast for not paying her for her services. And if you guys can't see me on the video, if you're just listening to this, I am air quoting paying her for her services. She said, "We got a runner, ladies and gentlemen." So I'm going to play the video beside me. If you guys want to check out the video, go to YouTube or Spotify to see the video. There's certain things that I can't play. The uncensored version I'll try to put up on my Exclusivity Media or Trent Out Loud Instagram page. But basically, this is an NFL player paying his OnlyFans, hooking up with his OnlyFans model. What a lot of you don't realize out there is that these dudes have to pay for these girls, And in the video, you see him coming out the shower and getting dressed. And as he's getting dressed, he takes off and she runs after him. And they're like in the hallway, and his pants come down. I think her pants come down, and it's just a mess. But she's obviously going to use the moment to get a little bit of fame out of it. And I don't blame her. You know what I mean? And you NFL ballers out there, basketball players or whatever, like if you're hooking up with these girls, just pay the girl their money and just have it like, You're a professional athlete. You don't need this kind of attention, and you don't need to be giving these OnlyFans models the attention from like professional sports. You know what I mean? And the commissioners are going to start coming down on you guys for these things. So anyways, this guy really, Terrell Lewis, I don't even know who Terrell Lewis plays for. It's the first time I'm even hearing about him, actually. Maybe I should know him. What team does he play for? Oh, he plays for the Eagles. Terrell Lewis. Anyways, that's even worse. You're playing for the Eagles, yo. But anyways, y'all go check it out. Watch the video. It's actually really funny. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What song should have never been released? All right, I have a feeling I'm going to hear a lot of Sexy Red and Ice Spice. All right, the first person, Aura Sunset, said Bigfoot by Nicki Minaj, corniest diss song of the decade. Okay, I don't know if that's the corniest song of the decade, but okay. Here we go, Fart by Ice Spice. Now, I'll tell you something. Fart wasn't that bad of a song. I just think the title, calling it Fart, I don't even know if actually that was the real title. Or, anyways, it wasn't the best song, but it's not like it shouldn't have been released. Yellowbone by Delilah, I don't even know that song. Trey Songz's version of the Power theme song, Ain't Nobody Asked for That, was glad when they changed it back. 100%, I'll give this comment a lot of credit. I remember, because I'm a big Power watcher. I remember when 50 changed it. I think it was like season 3 or 4, and literally we went in an uproar. Like, what the hell? It was the same track. I think the original track is sung by Joe, and then Trey Songz changed it. Yeah, that was horrible. That definitely should have never been released. Goldish Barbie said anything from Ice Spice. See, I knew that was going to happen. Somebody said the Cha-Cha song by Glorilla. Yo, I love Glow, man. I've never heard that song, but I love Glow. Somebody said anything from Blueface and a beat. I'm not a big Blueface fan, so yes, we will. I'll agree with that one. Hey, another person said Bigfoot by Nicki Minaj. Somebody said Bia's diss track to Cardi B. That wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I don't know if she should not have released it. It wasn't that bad. Quiet Storm 500 said Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys. What? Okay, it wasn't definitely not Alicia Keys' best track, but I wouldn't say that it should never have been released. Cody Day _2 said anything from Sexy Red. Another person said Ice Spice. Yo, they are really getting on these girls here, man. Somebody said, Beyonce's my girl, but she should have kept Texas Hold'em in the vault. I totally disagree. I thought Texas Hold'em was super dope. Drake's Hey There Delilah cover. Okay, that's not a real song. That was a skit. That was a parody. He did that for Toronto. Shout out to Drake. I love that he did that. Somebody said, Happy by Pharrell. What? Yo, that was such a dope song. Give Me the Light by Ice Spice. That song was just awful. I actually never heard the full song. I heard snippets, but it's hard to redo a classic. Like Give Me the Light by Sean Paul was a classic. Yeah, maybe Ice should not have let that out. Somebody said the Power theme song. Okay, we already wrote that. Beyonce Before I Let Go remix. Before I Let Go. I don't remember that, but it's Beyonce, so Beyonce can release whatever she wants, yo. The Boy Is Mine remake. The Boy Is Mine, Brandy and Monica. I don't remember the remake. I don't remember that. Or anyways, I don't know. Let's skip that. There we go. Somebody said the song Tiffany Radish made and the one that Oprah made. I don't even know if Oprah made a song. Wow. Somebody said anything by Jason Derulo. Anyways, I don't agree with most of these comments. Somebody said all Taylor Swift songs. Yo, that's rough. Yo, Taylor Swift is a billionaire off of her songwriting. So easy there. And I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. Y'all know that. I always ride for Beyonce when that argument comes up. Somebody said literally everything Nicki Minaj ever wrote is garbage. All right, you guys are just horrible today in the comment section. Sukiana and Ice Spice, Yellowbone. No. Somebody wrote Not Like Us. Okay, dude, you have the biggest Drake fan here, and I'll even admit Not Like Us is a banger. Stop it. All right. Disappointed in the comment section today, man. What song should never have been released? Send me your emails. It's Trent Out Loud at cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at any of my social handles at Trent Out Loud or Exclusivity Media. All right, this brings us to our second question of the day. Have y'all ever went through your mama's phone All right, I think this is more for people that have like younger moms. My mom's older, so there's nothing for me to go through in her phone. And she's always listening, so what's up, Mom? Don't worry, I'll never go on your phone. All right, 757 Cutie Pie said, my mom's old. She ain't got nothing in there popping but Candy Crush. See, same thing I said, man. Somebody said, yes, I've done it before, and it was the worst decision I ever made. I can't believe she was talking like that. And she had throw up emojis. Alicia, not Aaliyah, wrote, yep, her and my dad were talking ish about me. That's hilarious. Mom, I hope you're not talking about me to mom. Mom, I hope you're not talking about me to dad on your text messages. Somebody wrote, Dennis wrote, hell yeah, and I should have minded my own business. Hell yeah. Somebody wrote, y'all are some nosy ass children. Candace Cruz said, hell nah, but I did go through her contacts to block some of these old school dudes trying to reach out to her. That's funny. Somebody said, yeah, and I see where I get it from. That's hilarious. I wouldn't even want to know those things about my mom. Ugh, no. Somebody said, no, I'm normal. Exactly. Paul Kane, 7213 said, yeah, checked her email. They thanked her for signing up to an adult website. I can't make this stuff up. Oh, can you imagine going through your mom's email and knowing that she signed up for porn? Oh my gosh, I would die. Somebody said, yes, I did, and I learned my lesson. I'll never do it again. Samson_Matt said, that ish was worse going. It was worse than going through your girl's phone. Like, mom, why you give it up like this? Horrible. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to read these comments, man. Somebody said, yep, and I seen all my business being discussed. Like I was like a friend was backstabbing me. Well, of course your moms are going to talk about you in their text messages. See, that's why I wouldn't even want to know these things. I won't go through no one's phone, yo. Somebody said, bro, what's wrong with y'all going through your parents' phone? Exactly. Somebody said, yes, and never touched another device again in my life. All right, I'll read one last one. Somebody said, never again. A man was reminiscent in her DMs talking about, remember what we did in the shed when we were teens? And then I side-eyed my mom for the rest of the week, thinking my mom was a freak. Anyways, this is really funny. You guys let me know if you've ever been through your mom or your parents' phone and what were your reactions to what you saw. Send me emails, comment below, or send me a DM, man. All right, this brings us to sports news. Of course, we got to talk about the Stanley Cup Game 7. I don't normally talk about hockey because I don't normally even watch hockey. But, of course, I had to get together with my sister and her husband and my nieces and nephews because my nephews are big hockey players. And, it was actually a really good game. And it's like I say all the time whenever I talk about football, whenever I talk about basketball. And, of course, I'm Canadian. I was going for the Oilers. Apparently, the Stanley Cup hasn't been back in Canada for, I think, close to 30 years. But more importantly, it was a good game. It was a good Game 7. You know what I mean? Like basketball, we didn't have a good game. Something went close to the wire. Like the last 3 games were good. They came back from down 0-3. They tied the series 3-3, Game 7. Florida scored. Then Edmonton tied it up. I think it was in the second period, mid-range in the second period. Florida came back 2-1, and in the third period, nobody scored. They pulled the goalie. It was down to the wire. That is what a finals is supposed to be. You have the best 2 teams in the league coming down Game 7. Like, yo, I take my hat off to the NHL. I wish the NBA would have had something even close to this, you know? 100%, we were all heartbroken, except for one of my nephews. The youngest one was like, yeah, I'm going for Florida. And I was actually proud of him for a little guy. Like, what is he, like 9 or 10? And there was like 10 of us there, 11 of us there. And he's like, yo, I don't care what any of you guys say. I want Florida to win. I was proud of him that he had guts to do that. Even my mom was like, hey, you're Canadian, go for the Oilers. And he goes, nope, I'm going for Florida. So anyways, it was heartbreaking to see, but it was a great sport event. It was great for the league, great for hockey. And it was a good match. I would definitely like to see, now knowing that the Stanley Cup hasn't been in Canada in the past close to 30 years, I'm definitely going to root now for more Canadian teams as we get into the 2025 playoffs next year. All right, that is it. That is the end of the show. I got to wrap things up. Before I go, a little bit of housekeeping. If you're used to watching this podcast on YouTube or podcast platforms, please try to check me out Monday to Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area. We do play this podcast with 90s and 2000 hip hop and R&B. It's a great hour, great way to kind of break up your day if you're working from home or if you're working at the office. You put your headphones on in the office. It's a nice time to break up your day. So please try to check us out. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to the Trent Out Loud Podcast on CFQR 600 from 11 to 12 and you can't always catch it, don't worry. You never have to miss a podcast because you can always catch it on YouTube or podcast platforms. We upload shows daily. Just go to your desired platform, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the follow button so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. And for those who like to watch with video, you don't only have to watch on YouTube because now Spotify carries audio and video, and it's a better way to watch the video because you can close the app, etc. On YouTube, you can't close the app, so you can close the app and do a bunch of other stuff on your phone without losing the sound or even the video if you want to keep it up in the corner. So try to check me out on any platform. Don't miss the show. Thanks for hanging with me. I will see you tomorrow. I'm out. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.